Wow. How are your hearts right now? Mine's pounding outside of here. Normally, I will prompt some Q&A questions. I have this strong feeling, and I don't know why, that there's going to be a lot of questions. So I'm going to cut down my stuff and leave it open for y'all. And first of all, I'm going to let Joe, Bill, and Lucas come up here, and they have some special guests to also invite up here.
So we would like to invite up first Jack and Dolores. You're also welcome to take photos and videos. I would also like to invite up the hunger strikers featured in the film, Michael Saavedra, Farouk Salvan, Dadisi Benton, Shikawa and Tabu Jamaha, and Mr. King. Shikawa's making his way.
Well, any questions? Anyone with a question? I just want to say, first of all, film-wise, just as a film, this was gorgeous. You made such amazing choices between the editing and how you decided to film the stories and make it personal. If you could just kind of tell us a little bit about your filmmaking process and the decisions you made in balancing the storylines.
Sure. First of all, thank you. Really kind audience. Thank you so much for making your way out on a rainy day. We were, obviously there's a huge history that there is to tell about how the state of California came to incarcerate so many people in solitary confinement. And we tried our best to sort of capture that history. At the same time, we're telling the story of this massive collective action, this hunger strike, this protest, which had involved so many people. Maybe Dolores can speak to some of the other people that weren't, that we weren't able to sort of make space for. But just kind of narratively, we decided at some point that we wanted to tell the film through the story of the strike, and along the way, give you a chance to meet some of these incredible individuals that are up here right now.
I'll jump in real quick too. It was not easy. I conceived of the idea 11 years ago when the hunger strikes were happening. Joe, Bill, and I have been working on this very hard for 5 years. And how did we were not filming these guys as it happened. How do you tell that story? At times it got told this would be a really good podcast. And so at one point, many years ago, we experimented with animation over these folks' incredible words. That wasn't working. So this is years and years of trying to figure out how to tell the story, and eventually found some incredible archival, really delving into the history of Pelican Bay. And we eventually shot recreations at the very, very end of the process. We eventually got access to Pelican Bay at the very, very, very end of the process. Other filmmakers lent their footage, but it was a lot of creative iteration. I could talk forever, but let me just briefly say, originally this was focused on the family members of the hunger strikers. Thank you to all the family members. And eventually over time, these guys got released, and we were able to interview them and really get intimate with their stories.
Thank thank you all for being here. Thank you so much. First of all, I just want to give a shout out to those that still remain behind the walls, those that are still enduring these conditions. Solitary confinement does still exist. And to the family members that laid down their head at night wondering, will they ever be reunited with their loved ones? And all those that made this possible, because there was so many out there every single day, every single night. And so I just really want to lift that up, and bring in the humanity. I always tell Lucas and Joe Bill how they even made this in 90 minutes, it's just beyond me. But what they have created is more than just a film. It is a living, breathing entity. Like it's life. It's life that's continuing on. It's not just a story. It's a journey that continues, and it's so powerful. And I'm so grateful to what they have captured and what they've done, and capturing the humanity of it and the human lives.
Well, hello, my name is Dadisi. I am one of the few remaining members of the hunger strike who did the 59 days on the hunger strike. I'm one of the individuals who didn't believe it would work. But I believe that, hey, we needed to give it a chance, because many of us who was in the hunger strike, like I did 31 years in the shoe, and I had not had a serious write-up since 1983. But I did get a write-up for having some staples that came out of a magazine. I didn't get a shoe for it because it's a simple write-up. I might have got a write-up for talking to the staff in the law library. Our conversation was, I just said hello to him. I got wrote up for it. By me saying hello to him saying hello to me, that was a strike. That was something they was holding us in the hole for, just for a simple reason. The books we read, a lot of us, who read books about our people, they do it to be, and they do it to be radical, they use that against us. We ain't hurt nobody. We ain't done nothing serious, but a lot of us had beliefs that did not necessarily go along with the system. But I always was told that as long as we're not promoting violence, we're not being inflammatory, when we're seeking change, they cannot use that against us. But they did. And a lot of us, we stood up for that. A lot of the blacks and the whites and Mexicans, we did not get along. And that's a reality. We didn't get along. We fought. But at some point in time, our humanity kicked in. And we started realizing, hey, basically we all the same. I was born black. He was born Mexican. Somebody was born white. We did not choose who we were, how we was born. But we grew up in a culture and an environment that say, hey, you stick with your race. And that permeated throughout the prison system. But at some point in time, we grew out of that racial hatred. And we saw a side of each other that, hey, he's just like me. It's okay to have different beliefs. Don't try to force your belief on me. I don't try to force your belief on me. Just live our lives, and try to be, honest with each other, be respectful to each other. And in the end, a lot of us became friends. They labeled us the worst of the worst. In other words, we could not function within a free society. We could not function on the main line. When you put us out there, we're gonna kill each other. But in reality, we was the best of the best.
That's right.
I also want to shout out, you got to see Jack and Dolores getting married in the film. Dadisi just got married a few days ago.
I'd just like to say one thing. Here in California, we're still working on a bill called AB 280, the Mandela Act, to end long-term solitary confinement here in California to all institutions and jails. The county governor's desk So please, if any of y'all have any access to the governor or know anybody who knows him, or you can write to him and let him know, please sign this bill so we can end here in California solitary confinement.
I'd like to say hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Sitawa Natambu Jama. I was one of the principal members of the hunger strike. It's something I said that resonated through the whole hunger strike. I told everybody, I said, look, it's gonna be 40 days and 40 nights. After that, we're gonna get 40 days and revisit that and see if we wanna go further. So we did and made it 59 days. But at the end of the day, what the brothers have said, it was all about solidarity, coming together. We had a goal, we put together the agreement to end all hostility. That didn't just mean everybody solitary. It meant from, I was saying to everybody, we get out the hole, go to a main line. From the main line, we go to the streets and be there with our loved ones and family. That was the goal of what we was doing. We succeeded. No matter what we did, we lost people along the way. I'll never forget about that. My brother Peter, Paul Red, he got out before me. He died of cancer. It's like something died in me. And it's something that I had a stroke in 2019. Before we got on 2015 with the agreement, it's things that Squad and CDC told me. He said, hey, dude, you're gonna get out there to the main line, and I'm not youngster, gonna eat your alive. I told him, look, I come from where they come from. I said, I'm an educator. I'm not gonna run from them. They kicked me out of Salinas. Salinas was a no-man man. Had no program, no nothing. Everybody's locked in jail, or they was up there having a confrontation with each other. I got there and told, and there's a brother from the South named Woody. I'll never forget him, bones up there. I'll never forget the Northern Chuco. I'll never forget the white. I said, there's one thing we ain't gonna do. We ain't gonna reach out to each other and go for a protracted struggle. So what I did, I said, look, you ain't got no program, we're gonna build one. We're gonna have everything going. We're gonna bring school programs, self-help program to the main line. They said, you can't do that. This place been Death Valley for the last 10 years. They ain't gonna change. Less than a month being there, they start bringing back programs, getting education. I went to all groups and told them, hey man, we gotta work together. And Miss Dolores, she was there, her and my sister worked on the IAC, on the streets. That helped contribute to that. That's where that family connection. We turned that institution around. Two boys. You the kind of guy that need to be on the street. He said, cause you know how to unify people. I tell him, I said, one day I will. Here I am today. I'm gonna bring Southerners and Spanish, and I'm gonna bring North Spanish. I'm gonna bring Africans all over the state. We're gonna be one united.
Are there any questions?
But first of all, thank you all for coming. I'm honored to be up here standing with this group of men and my wife and reflecting on the past and looking towards the future. Thank you all for coming and sharing our past with us and going out into the streets and sharing our future with the community. Thank you all.
Hey, so I just want to introduce myself properly because I wasn't part of the film. But when Dadisi was talking about the younger guys, I'm one of them younger guys, when he talking about the education. So I remember in 2011 when they stopped the hunger strike, and they started moving us all into ASEG. And when we got to ASEG, it was the same, it was even worse. So I was one of the youngest New Africans to help organize ASEG, and the principal thinkers brought those issues there. Then they moved us back from Corcoran to Pelican Bay, and when they started kicking us out in 2015, we was on A Yard and B Yard of Pelican Bay, and we started an anti-hostility group. I'm now director of California Prison Focus, Cage Universal. So I remember talking to the elders on the yard, Louis Powell, Matope, some of the guys you've seen in the film. And I remember telling them, you know, how do we parallel this thing back into society when you had these principal thinkers establish this historical document called the Agreement to End Hostilities? Through Satawa, through other principal thinkers alike, we now have an after-school program where they have a curriculum for the Agreement to End Hostilities, right in Oakland, California. So what we are announcing is we have a campaign, Liberate Our Elders, for all these principal thinkers, the particular class. Again, I just wanted to let you know California Prison Focus, Cage Universal is still doing the work to this day. Thank you.
Congratulations, you guys. Do you have distribution?
We can talk afterwards. Soon to be announced.
Okay, congratulations.
Thank you.
We're feeling hopeful about public television next year.
I think there's a lot to take away from this, not just in California, but across the nation. Where can people go online? Where can we start with the action besides that one bill? Is there other places that we can go?
Thank you so much for asking this, because I always say, you know, while there had been advocates working on this issue for decades, literally it goes back as far as 30 years, we have in documentation where national advocates wrote us and said that they had never seen what had transpired in California. It literally sparked the heart of a nation. It sparked the heart of not just the United States, but a global effect. I mean, there was people organizing in London and everywhere. And so from that, I was part of the Unlock the Box. I am part of Unlock the Box, and we hired on Jessica Sandoval. And this has now spread in 46 states, and there's like 500 bills that are being passed to end the use of solitary confinement, to end the use of restricted housing is inhumane. And so if you go on unlocktheboxcampaign.org, there's also federal bills right now passing, and there's hundreds of bills across the United States that are being worked on. And I, with all my heart, every time, I always continue to give California the props that just, while other people are doing amazing work on it, I feel that California just sparked the fire and put the fire under people, and it is now spread across the United States. UnlockTheBoxCampaign.org.
I'm just gonna hop in real quick, just a couple of super quick things. This was, as I mentioned earlier, a very, very complicated film to make, and it's really powerful to be on the stage with this group right now. I want to give a quick thank you to Brian Perry, Bob Ayers, and Jana Molbatani, who gave us time to the film. And then I want to mention, I don't know if you want me to do this, Eugene, but Paul Rudd's nephew is here, and his family has been an important part of this process. So it's just another way. Make sure you know that. And yeah, this group specifically, with me at least, like has never been together. And so the fact that we're together right now is just like really emotional and really amazing.
Someone should take a picture.
So I just wanted to acknowledge that.
You're gonna catch, for the first time, you're gonna catch us all smiling.
But please do take pictures and photos.
Is the question?
Yeah, just a follow-up to what you said, Lucas. I'm just curious for everybody else, what does it feel like to be together and watch this film together with other people around? I'm just, if anybody cares to share about that.
I can't speak for everybody, I can speak for myself. This is the first time I've been in a position where I'm with all these gentlemen and my wife, and I'm experiencing this, and it's fantastic. We got Paul Rudd's family in the audience. I have friends and family in the audience, and I'm up here with the class of people that are the best of the best. And that's honorable. And for that, I'm thankful.
My son is still inside, but from the moment I got involved, I knew that things were going to change. So many people used to tell me that it wasn't going to change, that they were never going to get out. And I said, no, they have to get out. They have to, because I want my son out. And then when I started hearing the stories of decades, and Satawa, I call him my brother from another mother. I mean, me and Marie went up there constantly to go visit, and everything that transpired. When I was watching the film this time, this was my 4th time seeing it. I could not stop crying this time though, because I just kept thinking, like, I'm sitting here with Dadisi. I haven't even met him in person before. Farouk is here, you know, and Satawa, just everything. It just is so overwhelming, and I don't give up hope that someday my son will be up here too. And everybody's got